Welcome to Kreg Tool Company. This is a demonstration video on pocket hole joinery. As you'll see in this video, pocket hole joinery is a fast, strong, and simple method of joining two pieces of wood, making it one of the most popular methods of wood joinery available today. We're going to demonstrate this method with our K2000 Kreg Jig. As you'll see, this tool has many features that makes it our most popular pocket hole tool. The first application we'll demonstrate is a face frame joint. This is one of the most common uses of pocket hole joinery. And to assemble these two pieces, we'll first cut them square. We always drill pocket holes in just one piece, so we'll set the style down for a moment and we'll drill our pocket holes in the rail. We're going to drill those pocket holes with a 3/8 step bit. We're going to set that drill bit up with a depth collar to control our drilling depth, and we want to set that 3.5 inches from the step of the bit for 3/4 inch material. On the K2000 you can use either of the support wings to quickly reference that standard depth collar setting. With the depth collar set up, we can begin drilling our pocket holes. On the K2000 we have a unique 3-hole design. That gives us 3 2-hole combinations. So whatever the width of our material, we'll simply position it over the appropriate 2 holes. That way we only clamp our workpiece one time to drill those 2 pocket holes. That step bit, as you can see, drilled both a pocket hole and a guide hole. We use that guide hole to seat our screws. In pocket hole joinery, we use a self-tapping screw to assemble our joints. That's going to eliminate the need to pre-drill our second workpiece. We'll simply bring our pieces together, align them up anywhere on our reference point, and on a face frame joint, we're going to use a face clamp to temporarily hold our pieces together. We'll place the larger pad on the face side of the joint. That's going to assure us of a nice flush fit after we've driven our screws in. Now, whether we've glued this joint or not, once we remove our clamp, our joint is finished. There's no need, as you can see, to clamp the entire assembly up and wait for our glue to dry. So not only have we saved assembly time, we've also created a very strong joint. This face frame joint's been tested stronger than a mortise and tenon. Therefore, in situations we'd normally use a mortise and tenon, say for instance this leg and rail example, we can feel very comfortable substituting pocket hole joinery. In this section we're going to demonstrate assembling a leg and rail joint. We're also going to teach you about a basic concept of pocket hole assembly. Now, pocket hole assembly is very easy. In many cases, especially in softer materials, there's no need to clamp the 2 workpieces while you drive your screws in. However, for perfect alignment, you'll want to follow this basic concept of pocket hole assembly. As we can see in this example over here, we have a leg and rail joint where our rail is offset about 1/4 inch from the edge of our leg. To get that offset and hold that in position, what we do is cut a 1/4 inch offset in a piece of scrap material. We'll then clamp that scrap material to our leg to give us a hard stop on the opposite side of our pocket holes. When we come back and drive our screws in, everything is pulled tightly in that corner. So this basic concept of a hard stop on the opposite side of our pocket holes will be used in all pocket hole assemblies. Let's demonstrate how this works. Again, we always drill pocket holes in just one piece, so we'll do that here in our rail. To assemble the joint, we'll use the same self-tapping screws as we have before. And all we do is position the rail against our hard stop, and we can simply hold it in position while we drive the screws in. Once I remove that scrap block, I'm left with a rail with my perfect 1/4 inch offset. Now I use that scrap block on all 4 legs and I'm assured of a nice uniform assembly. But pocket hole joinery is so simple, we'll want to use it on more than just the leg and rail joint, so we'll show you some more applications now where you can use this technique. We've just seen how easy it is to attach our rail to our leg. We'll use this example to show some more applications for pocket hole joinery. Anytime we want to reinforce a corner, we can cut a corner brace and use pocket holes to screw that in position to square our corner. We can also use pocket holes along the length of our rails to come back and attach our tabletop or our countertop to our project. This particular tabletop shows another application for pocket hole joinery. We actually have 3 pieces of hardwood that we've edge joined with the use of pocket holes. If we have a plywood countertop, we can use pocket hole joinery to attach our edge banding. Simply drill the pocket holes on the bottom side, come back and screw that edge banding to your plywood. Another plywood to hardwood application is assembling your carcass to your face frame member. And there's always instances where you're assembling plywood to plywood. So these are many applications for pocket hole joinery, but we're not done there. In the next section we'll show you how easy it is to assemble different angle joints. So far all the joints we have assembled have been 90 to 90 degree butt joints. We're going to show you a more advanced use for pocket hole joinery right now by assembling a 45 degree joint similar to the ones we have on the face of our cabinet right here. We're going to do this slightly different than we have done it in the past. So instead of matching 222.5s out on the face, we're going to cut the entire angle on one workpiece, the other workpiece we'll leave it at 90, and we're going to screw these pieces together. You'll notice we can do this at any angle we want simply by changing that on just the one piece. So we're going to line the inside corners up in this case, leaving some excess on the face that we'll come back and clean up to finish the joint. We'll show you what we get when we do this, but first let's assemble this joint. We're going to drill our pocket holes in our 90 about every 6 to 8 inches along the length of our piece here. Once our pocket holes are drilled, we can assemble the joint again with the same self-tapping screws. And to line the inside corners up and hold that together while we assemble the joint, we can make an assembly jig similar to the one we see here. This jig incorporates the angle we're working with and a raised base so the inside corners meet. And now we have a hard stop on the opposite side of these pocket holes, so assembly becomes very easy. Drive the screws in. We've just assembled our 45. Now again, to finish our joint, we're going to plane and sand that excess. We can see in this example what we get. By finishing that, we get our 45, and on this piece we see a little bit better what that looks like. Instead of 2 pieces meeting on the edge, we now have a solid wood edge, and our joint line is less visible because it's offset to the side. So using pocket hole joinery over different angles like this gives you a very strong and attractive joint. By assembling many angled pieces, we get a curved effect. We can see this piece right here is many narrower pieces with an angle cut on one side. We've screwed them together, clean the face, and anytime your project requires curves, you can use pocket hole joinery in this fashion. We've just assembled that 45, now we need to attach a rail to that piece. Well, this is typically a difficult joint to assemble with the use of a bar clamp over that awkward angle, but as you'll see, pocket hole joinery makes this very easy. We're using our 45 example that we've just assembled, and we're going to attach a rail to that piece. As you'll see, I've already drilled my pocket holes and have my self-tapping screws in there. We'll bring these 2 pieces together. In place of a bar clamp, again we'll use that simple face clamp right on the joint line while we drive our screws in. We'll remove that clamp, and we've just assembled that joint. So what would be an otherwise difficult joint becomes very simple with pocket hole joinery. Well, we've just demonstrated a variety of pocket hole applications, and so far everything we've done has been in 3/4 inch material. We can use pocket hole joinery in both thinner and thicker material, as thin as 1/2 inch to material that's over 1.5 inches thick. To do so, we're going to change 2 variables. The first is where we position our pocket holes. For thinner material, we'll place the pocket hole closer to the edge of our workpiece, and for thicker material, we'll move the pocket hole further from the edge of the workpiece. The second variable we'll change is the length of our screws. In a moment, we'll show you how to set the jig up to reposition those pocket holes, but right now we'll give you a quick lesson on these screws. As we've said throughout the video, you always want to use a self-tapping screw in pocket hole joinery. The auger tip of that screw gives us that self-tapping feature. Again, that self-tapping feature eliminates the need to pre-drill our second workpiece, and as we can demonstrate here, these screws can be driven very near the edge of the workpiece without the fear of splitting. It is for this reason you always want to use a self-tapping screw in pocket hole joinery. Other than a self-tapping screw, you'll also want to choose a screw with the proper thread pitch, head style, and length. We'll use a 1-inch screw for 1/2-inch material, an 1.25-inch screw is standard length for 3/4 material, and we have a 2.5-inch screw for our 1.5-inch or thicker material. We're going to use a pan head screw for 1/2-inch material, as the smaller diameter of that head helps us seat it below the surface of the material. For thicker material, we recommend a washer head screw, as the added surface area of that head eliminates the tendency to overdrive the screw in softer materials. Finally, we'll use a fine thread screw in hardwoods, and a coarse thread screw will be used in soft hardwoods, plywood, or composite material. Again, in different thickness material, we will reposition the pocket holes to give us the best possible joint. Our tools have 3 standard positions for pocket hole placement. Those are 1/2-inch, 3/4, and 1.5-inch settings. We've demonstrated the 3/4 position. The 1/2-inch setting places the pocket hole closer to the edge and drills a shallower pocket hole. In the 1.5-inch setting, we place the pocket hole further from the edge, drilling a deeper hole. The effect of these positions is to center the screw in 1/2-inch, 3/4, and 1.5-inch material, giving us the best possible joint over a wide range of material thicknesses. An application for 1/2-inch material is drawer box assembly. We've placed the pocket holes on the back side of the drawer, and the face gets covered with a drawer front, so we never see the pocket holes, and we have a nice sturdy drawer box. Some applications for thicker dimension stock include outdoor furniture, decking, or rough 2x4 construction. The K2000 makes it very easy to reposition the pocket holes for different thickness material. Throughout the video, we've been using the standard 3/4 position. To move to the standard 1/2-inch position, we're going to add the step block to the base of the jig. Simply snap into position, then rest your workpiece on this step block and clamp into place. You will drill a slightly shallower pocket hole, so set the depth collar 3 5/16 from the step of the drill bit. For thicker material, we have a standard 1.5-inch position. To move to this position, remove the upright from the base and add the riser block. Reattach the upright on the riser block and assemble with a longer bolt. We can clamp up to 2-inch thick material in this position. We're also going to drill a deeper pocket hole, so set the depth collar 4 1/4 inches from the step of the drill bit. The ability to quickly reposition the pocket holes, along with the unique 3-hole design of the K2000, makes this tool the most versatile pocket hole jig available today. All of the joints and applications we've assembled so far can also be accomplished with more basic manual jigs that we offer, and we'll show you how to use those right now. The Mini Kreg jig is our most basic pocket hole tool. The Mini is a single-hole block-style jig that is designed without a base. The fact that the Mini is designed without a base allows us to use it when there's 2 pieces already assembled. For instance, let's say this is an older piece of furniture and this joint is failing. You'll notice anywhere we can clamp the Mini and drill a pocket hole, we can come back, drive a screw in to repair and tighten that joint. So not only is the Mini a great repair tool, but we can also use it in new assembly. To demonstrate, we'll line the Mini flush with the edge of our workpiece on our standard 3/4 setting. For our 1/2-inch setting, we'll offset the Mini 3/8 of an inch from the edge of the workpiece, and in the 1.5-inch standard setting, we will move the Mini 1 1/4 inches from the edge of the workpiece. We'll drill a hole with the Mini on this piece of 3/4 material. We always want to secure our material before we clamp the Mini to it. So for 3/4 material, we'll align the base flush with the edge of the workpiece and drill our pocket hole. So as you can see, the Mini is a very portable and versatile pocket hole jig. The Rocket is a 2-hole pocket hole jig found between the Mini and the K2000. Like the K2000, the rocket has 3 standard positions for different thickness material. The rocket's made up of an upright, a riser block, and a base plate that will be aligned differently for those different thickness materials. For 3/4 material, we'll use the upright and the base plate, attaching the pieces with the shorter screws as shown. The 1/2" setting, we will simply flip the base plate around using the same screws. For our standard 1.5" setting, we will use the riser block and attach the base plate with our longer screws. In all instances, the base plate will be set up with a friction sliding fit. That will allow us to capture the face clamp on the back side of the tool. We'll demonstrate drilling some pocket holes with the rocket. We always clamp the rocket to a secured workpiece before drilling the pocket holes. So as you can see, the rocket has many features and is in the mid-range of our manual pocket hole tools. Pocket holes are generally placed on the back or underside of your project where they're hidden from view. However, from time to time you may want to place the pocket hole where it would be slightly visible, in which case you can use a pocket hole plug to hide that hole. Simply dab some glue on the plug and insert it into the pocket hole. If that plug fits tightly, you can use the profile on the face of the mini jig to fully seat it. After the glue has dried, trim and sand the plug flush. The pocket hole plugs come in a variety of species that can be used to either hide or contrast the pocket holes for a decorative effect. If you're working with melamine or a finished surface, a plastic cap can be used. These caps come in a variety of colors. When your pocket hole needs are more industrial in nature, Kreg offers a line of fully automatic industrial pocket hole boring machines. Each machine is ruggedly built for all-day, everyday use in even the toughest work environments. Let's demonstrate. For more information on the machines, ask your dealer or simply contact Kreg Tool Company. Another fine Kreg product is the right angle clamp. This clamp allows you to attach 2 pieces in a 90-degree orientation. You're using the pocket hole to help you attach those pieces because as you can see, one of these jaws, this one here, fits down into the pocket hole. The opposite jaw has a 360-degree rotating pad, swivel pad, which allows you to attach that clamp in a variety of angles, so you can see here. Let me demonstrate this tool in a real-life application. What I have here is a face frame and a side member to that face frame, and what I want to do, of course, is attach the carcass to the face frame. I have my pieces aligned. I have a 1/4 inch offset I want, so I have a 1/4 inch piece of ply underneath my 3/4 ply. So I'm going to insert the pin into this edge pocket hole, align the bottom side flush, and simply secure my pieces. Now I can use the closest pocket hole, adjacent pocket hole here, to drive my screws in. Remove that clamp and go ahead. I'm just going to put it down here, hold those pieces, and we'll finish this assembly here. That'll do it. And now we've assembled that piece. We got our 1/4 inch offsets And that side is done for us. We'll attach the other side, and we're about there. Another fine Kreg product is the universal bench clamp. This is a very versatile clamp. It can be used as an assembly clamp for pocket hole assembly. It can be used to clamp your rocket or your mini secure to your workpiece while drilling your pocket holes, or just to clamp any workpiece for drilling or routing that piece of material. The bench clamp is a hold down clamp that we have here and a 10 by 10 inch by 1/4 inch thick steel plate. Key slot in that plate allows you to insert the clamp. The clamp now rotates 360 degrees to allow you to work in any direction. Let's demonstrate this tool on a face frame joint. Get an example here of a face frame where I'm using our face clamp. Larger pad on the face side, we clamp that piece. At times it can be slightly cumbersome. The clamp is used off the edge of your workpiece, so you can see on top of your workbench it provides an uneven surface. With the bench clamp routed into your workbench now, you have a very flat surface that allows you to bring, in this example, a face frame joint together right on the steel plate. We'll bring this bottom rail and stile together, clamp those workpieces very securely, and now I have a hands-free operation to drive these pocket holes in this joint. Once I've assembled this joint, I'll remove the clamp. I'll have a perfectly flush joint on the face side, as we can see here. Very nice. With the bench clamp now, after I've finished my face frame, the clamp will remove and my workbench is flat again for other projects.